Welcome to PoliPulse, your daily South African political pulse. Today, the Madlanga Commission is back in the spotlight, and there are fresh revelations about state capture that you need to hear. Stick with me for the breakdown. Here's what's happening. Click, like, and subscribe. Roll the clips.
The Madlanga Commission keeps laying bare how serious cases unravel inside the justice system. On Tuesday, the 4th of August, the hearing moved through the arrest of senior police officers, the fight over a missing Section 27 referral, and the questions around prosecutor-led investigations. This briefing walks the strongest moment on the record and what they mean. Stay with it.
Investigations of my recusal from the aforesaid matter. Background. About 4 weeks ago, the ID formally authorized me to be part of the prosecution team in the matter of State versus General Kumalo and others. The matter was already on the court roll, having been first enrolled on 27 July 2025. And it seems on the email I'm repeating the same mistake of date of 27 July. It actually should read 27 June 2025. In August, the matter was remanded to 8 September 2025 for a formal application in terms of Section 63 of the CPA Act, brought by accused 1, 3, 4, and 7. On 8 September 2025, I presented the state's case, assisted by Advocate Joy Hlatswayo. The application commenced on that day, but not finalized. The matter was remanded to 15 September 2025 for continuation. On 15 September 2025, the matter could not proceed due to the fact that the Magistrate Court building was waterlogged and some of the courtrooms did not have electricity. The matter was then postponed in Chief Magistrate's office, in chambers. The accused were called into the said office and stood behind us, in bracket us referring to the lawyers, facing towards the magistrate. Accused 4 was standing closest to me. When I turned back to look at the accused, I then noticed, for the first time since the first appearance, that accused 4 is the person that is known to me. Accused 4 and I grew up together in the township in Mabopane. We actually played soccer together for many years, albeit for different teams. For all intents and purposes, accused 4, in brackets, Josias, as we used to call him, and I are homeboys. Between yesterday and this morning, I have verified that accused 4 is the same person I grew up with. Thus, I have formally decided to inform IDEC management and recuse myself from handling any case in which Mr. Josias Lekalakala and his family members, in brackets and associates, are accused persons. I have already disclosed this fact to my fellow IDEC managers in an earlier management meeting held this morning. Conclusion: to avoid any negative perceptions and in the interest of justice, I'm formally recusing myself from this matter and any matter that may involve family members and or associates of Mr. J. Lekalakala. On 29 September 2025, I'm formally going to recuse myself in court before the magistrate, since I was still addressing the court when the matter was adjourned on the last occasion. I did not recognize Mr. Lekalakala in court on the 3 previous occasions. Otherwise, I would not have been part of the prosecution team right from the onset. Whilst I was part of the case, I prosecuted it to the best of my ability, and the record of the proceedings will bear testimony to that fact. I just do not want any wrong perceptions to be created by my continued prosecution of somebody that I grew up with. My name and integrity mean a lot to me, so are the interests of justice. This memo, you'll see it was dated 16 and addressed to Mr. Soko and Advocate Johnson. As I indicated, Commissioners, I tried to locate the signed copy, I couldn't find it, but it is backed up by the email PS7, where Mr. Soko confirms that the memo was brought to my attention, referring to himself, Mr. Soko, and I have also brought it to the attention of the ID. However, because she's attending Menko, and I was also on leave yesterday, we are only going to discuss it tomorrow when she's in the office. But what followed on this, if I go back to my affidavit, on paragraph 40, approximately 2 weeks after I had submitted this memo, 2 weeks later, the investigating director informed me that she had considered my request and granted it, but asked that I first complete the Section 63 bail application before withdrawing from the matter. I remember that day it was me and the ID and Mr. Soko. I was called into her office and she said, I received your memo and it's only fair that you recuse yourself from the case because you cannot prosecute a person that you know and his colleagues and associates. But she said, but because the bail amendment application has already commenced and it was almost halfway, please finalize that and then you can then formally withdraw from the matter. And that is how then I proceeded, at least with that application. On or about 14
Advocate
October.
Serunye, do you know if anyone then replaced you as the DD after your recusal was accepted?
Yes. Advocate Manilal, his name is Santos Manilal, replaced me. It's him and a number of prosecutors, I think 2 or 3 other prosecutors, Advocate Isaac Duploy, and Advocate Bastian Thienasen. I think that's the surname. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his surname properly. But they were only, yes, they came on board. I don't know at what stage, but as that period I proceeded to finalize the 63-hour and the bail appeal that followed later. But I know that they were later then involved with Advocate Santos Manilal being the DDPP and project owner of this case. When I ceased to be the prosecutor in the case, I think so was Advocate Ramsemi and Advocate Tlachwayo. So the team led by Advocate Manilal took over the 2 cases. And I think they're still the prosecutors.
You say the team without, it's a new team without, new in that it now doesn't have Advocate Ramsame and Advocate Tlachwayo.
That is correct, Commissioners.
Okay.
The team of Advocate Manilal took over the two cases. And Advocate Ramsemi ceased to be the prosecutor in the Lushaba case. So did Advocate Tlachwayo.
Okay.
I don't know at what stage they were told to no longer be part of the case, but I know for a fact they are no longer part of the 2 cases.
All right. Maybe just correct my assumption or what I thought things meant. When you were setting out the 4 different streams that you have, each one of them led by a DDPP,
Yes.
I assumed that therefore there's only 4 DDPPs in IDEC. You now make a reference to Advocate Manilal.
That's correct.
As a DDPP.
Yes.
So does that mean you have more than just the 4, and where do they fit in these different streams that you have?
No. Commissioner Baloyi, at the time when the streams were set up, Advocate Manilal was still a senior state advocate. He was not yet a DDPP. And he was reporting to one of the DDPPs, Advocate Vetboy. And he only later became a DDPP. I think he went for interviews at some point for the position and was then appointed formally as a DDPP and became part of the DDPPs. And at that stage, then it would have been me and Advocate Manilal, Lowe, and Advocate Vetboy, even though Vetboy, her position was on contract, which ended last year in December 2025. And there was Advocate Annemari Friedman. So at some point we were 5 with the appointment of Advocate Manilal as a DDPP. We then became 5.
So when Advocate Manilal gets appointed, you say he gets promoted, he becomes a DDPP.
Yes.
When he gets appointed to replace you in these matters, DDPP law is again overlooked. He's also again not part of it. He's not the default.
He's like, yeah, that is correct, even though the case fell
Falls under his team, his stream.
Under his stream.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. On or about 14 October 2025, I'm reading from paragraph 41, when the matter was due to proceed, The magistrate recused himself on the basis that he had been subpoenaed by the commission.
That is the picture so
I
far
was
from
of
the
the view
Madlanga
that the reason
Commission.
given was not
The
legally
testimony
sound,
is not abstract. It
and after
maps onto
consulting the
stations,
team and
dockets and
investigating
families waiting for answers. Subscribe for the next long-form briefing.
Because I was not doing it
This
for
is
myself, but
commentary
for the
and
team. We
analysis,
then launched-
not a
I
court
launched
record.
an application to review the recusal.
And that's your PoliPulse brief for today. If this helped you make sense of the madness, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a breakdown. For more South African stories from a youth perspective, check out our sister channel at Mzansi Pulse. I'll see you tomorrow. Stay sharp, South Africa.